Hello, goddesses. Welcome, welcome. I am so excited for this masterclass training. I've been excited since I first received guidance from the Akashic Records to bring this forward and share this with you, and also just being open myself to see how this unfolds, because there's so much to say around multidimensional manifestation. And I was thinking today, how am I going to set this up over 3 videos, because there's so much that I want to share on this topic. So of course I went to the space of the records myself to ask for guidance on what to really bring forward and what to share first and how to pave the way for this. And what really came through was to look at this idea and explore the idea of infinite possibilities, and to look at the energy that you are tapping into moment to moment, because there's so much power in that. So say hi if you are here. We've got Lamorla, we've got Monica and Mary Katarzyna. Welcome, goddesses. Oh, I'm so excited to have you here live. Awesome. So say hi as you jump in. If you're catching this on the replay, I know a lot of people are unable to join live. If you can, I love having you here live, because I love the part of really being able to interact with you, and I definitely encourage you to ask questions throughout this. I'm open to answering them. Oh, thank you, Katarzyna. Sending love your way, goddess. So definitely open to answering your questions as we go, clarifying everything, and yeah, excited to dive in and look at infinite possibilities. And what's so important to really keep in mind about this is when we live in this space of infinite possibilities, it opens up that door as well for instant manifestation. Because what instant manifestation really is aligning your energy with what you desire to create and what you desire to bring into your experience. And as soon as you do that, you experience the physical manifestation of what you desire. So that really is the key, is how do I harness that energy of what I really desire? How do I tap into that and have that be part of my vibrational field? So we're going to look at that more deeply today. I'm just going to give it a couple more minutes and let some other people jump on. Hi, Sky. How are you? Great to have you. And Kelly and Valencia. And then I do want to start with just a brief meditation to help us all get grounded, do some mantras together, and then energetically hold the space for one another so we can set our intentions and what we want to get out of tonight. Intention setting is so powerful. When we really claim what we want to call into our experience, we hold the energy of that. There's power in that. There can be instant manifestations that happen by solely aligning completely with our intentions and the energy behind them. So we will start with that. Over the training, over this 3-day training, we're also going to look at the goddess energy as well, and how to really tap in and harness that, and the role that connecting to your inner goddess, really activating and awakening your goddess powers, the role that that plays in manifestation. And what's very much tied to the goddess energy as well, and harnessing that power, is your psychic and intuitive abilities. It's very much related to the divine feminine, and it's been suppressed for so long, where we haven't really felt safe to connect to our psychic powers or our intuition, and sometimes to the point of suppressing it so much where we feel like we don't even have those gifts anymore. We see them as superhuman, when really it's a natural part of our experience to be able to work with our intuition and to be able to tap into those gifts. Those are things that help us here on the earth plane and help us on our life journey. So we're going to look at that. And then we have the astrology side as well that we're going to tap into, and especially getting a deeper appreciation for your unique soul blueprint and the energy that you chose to come forward and work with this lifetime, and the challenges that can be part of that, the lessons that can be part of that. There can be so much that's tied up in that. So welcome if you're joining now. Hello, Rachel. Welcome, Goddess, and Jacqueline and Karen. So good to see you online. I know I'll see you again in person soon too. And Brittany and Stacy, welcome, goddesses. So let's jump in and let's do our meditation. Let's set our intentions and do some mantras. So just get nice and comfortable and relax. And bring awareness into your breathing. And initially, don't even try to change your breathing pattern. Just simply bring your awareness to it. And notice how your energy shifts by simply becoming aware of your breath. And now I invite you to set aside anything that has happened prior to this moment. To set aside anything you have to go to after this. And allow yourself to be fully present, fully grounded in this moment. Knowing that you deserve to take this time for you, that you are worth it. And once again, bringing awareness back into your breath. And this time, intentionally inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. And try to take full, deep breaths, really inhaling the energy of love and light. And also exhaling love and light back into the world. So inhaling love and light. Exhaling love and light. And now bringing awareness into your central column of light that runs from above the crown of your head all the way through your body. And allow it to flow through your body, aligning your chakras, aligning your energy centers. And send this column of light like roots of a tree all the way down into the crystalline core of Mother Earth. Feel yourself connecting to this grounded, loving energy, the support that is there for you. And using the power of your breath, inhale this energy and allow it to travel up through your column of light until it enters your physical body, mixing throughout every cell of your body. And sending this column of light up through the crown of your head, traveling all the way up to the space of the ether. Just bringing awareness back into your breath and notice what it feels like to have this free-flowing energy that connects you to Gaia and at the same time is that connection to your higher self. And placing your hands over your heart chakra, let's repeat some mantras together. So first, take a deep breath. Exhale. And repeat, I choose to awaken my inner goddess. I choose to embrace the energy of love. I choose to manifest a life that lights up my soul. I choose to be an energetic match to all of the things my soul desires to create. And in this space, set any other intentions that you have for yourself. Just set those intentions, feel them in your heart chakra, feel the expansiveness of them. And so it is. Take a deep breath. Release. And open your eyes when you're ready. All right, so let's get rolling on this topic now that we've got our affirmations set, our intentions, our mantras, and we're opened up to receiving. And that exercise we did with that column of light, that's so powerful in itself to really connect you to these other dimensions, to these other realms, as you imagine that column of light expanding all the way up into the space of the ether. This is part of the process that I actually use in opening the Akashic Records. And then we go a little bit deeper, working with sound and using your name to access that space. But part of it is focusing on that column of light and allowing that to expand all the way up into that space of the ether and connecting to your higher self, your angels and guides, and becoming very aware of what that energy feels like as you travel to and enter that space. And that's why we first use that column of light to get really grounded as well, because anytime you're doing energy work, astral travel, anything where you're kind of leaving your physical body and even leaving this earth plane, getting really grounded first is key, because what can happen otherwise is we experience the sense of just getting lost or feeling dizzy or having these beautiful divine insights and downloads, but not being sure how to apply them. So even using your central column of light to get really grounded first and set the intention to connect to that energy of Gaia, that creates that free-flowing energy of allowing you to take those divine downloads and apply them here on the earth plane, because that's what you're here to do. And I feel that's so important, and I want to share that because I know for many light workers and healers, at times we wonder and we question, you know, why we chose to be here on the earth plane at this time where we can see so much suffering happening, and it's a very dense energy, right? And we're very aware of that as we do energy work, that the 3D can be very like a dense energy. But I truly feel that, especially if you resonate as being a light worker, that you came here for a reason. You chose to be here and you're part of this ascension process. You are part of raising the vibration of the earth and moving into what many people refer now to as the fifth dimension, which is basically the space where we experience time different, that is more governed by the energy of love, of peace and harmony, and where we don't experience as much dualism as we often do here. So just know that you are here for a reason and you have an important mission and message to share with the world. So let me know if that resonates with you, and if you feel that as well, like you really chose to come forward and chose to be here at this time. Hello, Bex, welcome. Katarzyna's saying that was lovely mantras. Oh, I'm so glad you enjoyed them. Wonderful. Beautiful. So I really do feel that there's more light workers coming forward, and also more light workers and healers that are stepping up at this time and really claiming abundance and prosperity as well, because that's another huge shift that we are experiencing as a collective, is that we want to receive abundance for the work that we're doing in the world, right? We want to open up to energetically receiving for the beautiful work that we're putting up there, and we're changing as well. We're changing and we're transitioning into that energy. So with that being said, let's look at this realm of infinite possibilities. So started exploring and studying the Akashic Records, my journey actually began with having a reading myself. And that reading activated so much in me that it actually changed my business, the course of my business. That's when I started connecting more with the divine feminine, when I started connecting more with the goddess energy and bringing that out into the world. It really just changed everything being in that space. It changed how I showed up in the world, basically. And it led me to feel like that was something I wanted to get certified in as well. So I could also know how to access this space for myself, know how to do this work. And one of the first things that I really discovered and like kind of explored anew in the Akashic Records was this idea of infinite possibilities that exist in every moment and that also exist for our future. So that means that anything you desire to create for yourself, anything your soul desires to really experience and create, is absolutely possible for you. It exists in that space of infinite possibility. So if it's something you desire, so whether you see yourself as the spiritual entrepreneur, serving your clients, receiving abundantly for that work, it is already done. As soon as you desire it and connect to it, like if that's what your soul desires, in the spiritual realm, it is done. So then the key to the manifestation is, how do I now take that from this energetic realm, right, from the spiritual place, and experience it physically? And in order to do that, it's all about capturing the energy of what you experience. So how do I capture, how do I tap into that energy now? And we've often, you know, we've heard this on our journey throughout law of attraction, and many manifestation teachers, law of attraction teachers talk about this, but I feel what's missing is that they're often just working solely with this lifetime basically, and with the energy of where you are, and they're leaving out the fact that your soul has experienced so many lifetimes, and that your energy and your ability is to be able to project into these other realms of existence. So in order to really harness this energy of what you desire, of what you want, and experience it in the physical, it's connecting and really knowing what that soul journey is. So part of this can be experiencing those past lifetimes and even using those gifts and strengths that you developed in previous lifetimes to help you to achieve what you desire now. So basically at the core, what can happen is we cut ourselves off from the bigness of who we really are, the expansiveness of what we are able to create when we're only looking solely at who we are in this physical body. Because there is so much more than that. It is so much bigger than just this physical body and just this lifetime. So it's really about connecting and appreciating that soul journey and the magic and the power you have as you connect with that. So let me know if that resonates, or if there's any questions coming up around that at all, because I'm definitely open to answering all of this. All right, Teresa, hello, goddess. Saying, yes, I am so glad to be here at this amazing time in Earth's history. So powerful, right? Bex is saying this resonates. Rachel definitely resonates. Thank you. You are welcome. Katie, this couldn't be a better way to begin. I've had the most challenging day. Oh, no. Sending love, Katie, sending love. And that's another thing to remember about this realm of infinite possibility, because I know when I first heard about this as well, I thought of it in terms of like my future, right? Like what I want to create, what I want to experience. But the fact is, we can change our energy instantly, right? Like we can experience the new manifestation and a new way of showing up as soon as we change our mind about it, as soon as we shift our energy around it. And it's just all based on our belief system, right? We have this belief about what's possible for us, how we show up in the world, and we really do create our own limitations. And my background is also in psychology. I think many people that follow me have talked about this, like just as a child feeling like I didn't belong or I didn't fit in, and just kind of feeling like I wasn't even quite sure how to human at times. I'm like, what am I doing here? It's all so confusing. So it led me to study psychology. And one of the first things that I really dove into was belief systems and how they really govern our experience. And it's those first 7 years of life that we're actually forming our beliefs. And then those beliefs kind of guide us through life. And it really all comes back to that. Like we can have a belief we're carrying around today that we may have developed at the age of 3 that doesn't serve us anymore. So it's even just knowing in this instant that I can tell a new story about who I am, about how I'm showing up, and that you hold the power to be able to do that. But at the same time, it's like the trick is, and I know because I'm learning this too, like how do I do that without any guilt or blame? And how do I love all of me? Because love is part of like that transformation too that we're experiencing as we're moving into the 5D. It's manifesting right through the power of love. So it's like loving and accepting all the components of us, including the shadow. And we can look a little bit at that as well, because that's another thing that's kind of been left out in a lot of the teachings around manifestation. And if we don't look at the shadow, we're neglecting a large part of us that is actually attracting and putting energy out into the world. And we're cutting off a certain aspect of who we are. And anytime we do that, right, we're creating these divisions. And what we really want to do is have that unity and that wholeness and that love for all the different aspects of who we are and how that is expressed. Okay, Katarzyna, it truly resonates. Last night I watched a masterclass with Robin Sharma done, oh cool, the founder of Mind Valley. Yes, Vishen, I love his work. And it was all about heart set and staying connected to your heart and feeling the emotions we come across. Yes, well, our heart guides us so much if we connect with that, right? And that's actually one of the processes when I open the Akashic Records as well. It's sinking from the ego into the heart space, because our ego is where these limitations come from. The more that we can connect with our heart, that's the truth of who we are. That's where the wisdom comes in. And this is very much has to do as well with the rising of the goddess energy and the rising of the divine feminine. It's the leading from your heart. It's leading from this place of love and courage. And that's a choice again, right? We can choose to connect with that space, and even like visually imagining your consciousness sinking down into your heart space, imagining that like heart space expanding. And as we follow that love and that passion, that kind of guides us and leads us throughout life to opportunities that are a match to our soul's work and what we're here to do. So that's where like the intuition comes in as well. Hi, Ellie. Hello, Goddess. And Shauna. Let me see if I can scroll this up. And Michelle, welcome, welcome. So if you're just here, definitely say hi, ask any questions below. Tonight we're talking about this realm of infinite possibilities that exists not only for your future or what you want to create, but that exists in this very moment. So talking about this idea of like connecting with your soul and connecting with your heart, part of this really does like fit into a practice that you can create for yourself. And it's often like having a daily practice, 10 to 15 minutes a day, where you really go into this place of silence and connect with where you are being guided and connect to where you are being led at this time. Because it gets very confusing if we're always looking externally for that guidance. Because when we talk about belief systems, we all have our own set of beliefs, we all have our own set of opinions, and everybody kind of has their own agenda as well for what they're creating. So how you really connect to your soul mission, your soul purpose, is taking that time to go within and taking that time to connect with what feels expansive and right for you. That's your intuition guiding you forward, what feels contractive, and how you can really stay and be in that energy of infinite possibilities is connecting to the wisdom of your heart and soul. I often use those interchangeably, our soul, our heart, but kind of connecting to that wisdom in that space, right? That really is in your highest good and that knows what is best for you. And that's why the wisdom and the answers are within, because you know in your soul the journey that you're on and the path that you're on. And no two people have that same journey or path. We're all unique in that way. And that was another huge lesson from studying the Akashic Records, was seeing, wow, there are so many lifetimes and so, so many experiences that my soul has had that are unique to me and that help form who I am today. So we have gifts that we naturally come forward with that kind of help us on that journey and that really help support us on that journey. So also when we're looking at this realm of infinite possibilities, looking at the questions that you're asking yourself and the questions that you're putting out into the world are so crucial as well in determining the energy that you are going to activate within yourself. And another lesson from the Akashic Records that I learned, when we're in the space of the records as well, the questions that we pose determine the answers that we receive, because it determines the frequency that we activate. So the questions that you're putting out into the world for yourself determine the answer that you're going to receive. So I mean, there's so much power in that. Like, it can sound so simple, right? Like, just change the questions you're asking. But just think, like, daily, if you were very conscious and aware of the energy that's behind your questions, and you're only asking questions that you want to receive a match to, that's huge. And I can think back to when I was just kind of going through this training and like studying the records myself. And one of the first things that I started to explore that really made me aware of like the power of questions. And it's kind of simple in many ways, but it's also very powerful in many other ways. So I'm like, well, how can I take this back to the beginning to explain this? So basically what I was looking at in the records was why I was experiencing this feeling of like overwhelming anxiety one day that I felt like I woke up with. And the night before that, I was actually at a group concert, and there was tons of people around, there was tons of energy around, and part of me felt like I picked up something from someone else, because I'm also an empath, and learning to have like those energetic boundaries and how to like clear and cleanse my energy has been a lifelong journey. So I felt like I may have picked up something from someone else in that crowd. There were so many people, and then kind of kept that energy within me. So I was exploring that in the records, and the question I was asking was like, why do I have this anxiety? Where is it coming from? So of course the answers I was getting was maybe reasons why I had that anxiety, and I think part of it was I did pick it up from somewhere else, but it triggered something that was already within me to come to the surface. But then what I realized as well was like a more empowering question to ask around that was, how can I clear this anxiety? How can I send love to it? And asking that question elicited a whole set of different information on how to protect my energy field, how to really cleanse my energy field by, again, returning to this place of love, because love is such a high vibration. When we're in that energy of love, right, we clear out some of those feelings of like fear, of anxiety, or sometimes what can be deemed, right, as lower energies or lower vibrations, but they're all part of our human experience here. But as we return to what we often say are higher vibrations like love and peace, it automatically, it's like when we're in that energy, we're only a match for more love, more abundance, more prosperity to then come our way. And it's from that space that we're powerful manifestors, and you can trust that what you're manifesting from that space is in the highest good for you and in the highest good for all, because only good things can come from being in that energy of love. So let me know if that resonates with you. I hope that example was kind of clear around like the questions that we pose and how that determines the information that we receive. And that's something I'm still always like checking in with myself, right? And it can be in so many ways. It goes back to this idea as well of like, when we know what we don't want, we know what we do want. So are we focused on the lack of it, or are we focused on the abundance of it? And as we focus on what it is that we do desire, that's what we activate in our experience. So we want to be very aware when we're talking about infinite possibilities, the questions that we ask ourselves, the thoughts that we're thinking, and seeing it as a way of kind of expanding and inviting what we desire into our experience. So yes, let me see these questions here. Rita, hello goddess. I think we are love. We are love. So true. I think that if others believed that, our world would be beautiful instead of bitter and dark. Spread love and kindness. Oh, I love that, Rita. And you do that so beautifully. You are always spreading so much love and kindness. And that really is part of the major shift, I feel, is that we're moving into a place of more love and more kindness. And you know, don't underestimate the power that has to create in your life. Like as you do practices to tap into that, and there's so many, you know, I don't know, overwhelmed with all these different practices, but of course like EFT and tapping is a way to instantly shift your energy and to bring in more love. Journaling is a way to shift your energy and really tap into what you desire to create. There's many things you can do, right, to kind of shift your energy and get into that space. And just remembering that it all comes back to a mindset. Like it's a mindset that it has to be hard. And just as it's a mindset that this can be easy and it can happen now. Because as you connect to that power that you hold within you, you realize it can happen instantly, that you are worthy of it happening as instantly as you align with it. And this was another big realization for me too. I actually wrote a post on this the other day just on my main Facebook page, but how I held this belief for so long that I had to work really hard to achieve something. And I always really believed in myself. I'm a Taurus moon, so I'm very persistent. If I got any other Taurians in here, Taurians are very persistent. So I always knew I would stick to it and I would like make it happen. I would get it done. But I had the belief that maybe I had to work harder than other people for it to happen, or that it had to take a long time, or that and you know, some of these beliefs are just so ingrained in our society as well, this belief that we have to work really hard before we can get the results that we want. But when we step back and realize like our whole experience, our reality, our perception is just based on our beliefs, we can choose again, and we can choose that this is easy, that this is fun, that it can happen as soon as I align my energy to it, that it's happening in divine timing. And the reason, you know, we really say surrender, or you hear many spiritual teachers say, and maybe you feel this yourself, I know we have spiritual leaders and teachers here, so I'd love to hear your perspective on this. But I think when we talk about like surrendering and just trusting in divine timing, it's also that we know things are happening at the pace that they're meant to. And manifestations often come into our experience when we are an energetic match to them. So that means we're ready to receive them at that time. So that's where the trust and the faith comes in as well, and where we can release resistance when we know that we've done our part. And now we release and we trust that it's coming to us all in perfect timing. Oh, hello, Goddess Crystal. Yes, the replay will stay in the community. Teresa, I love those examples. So perfect. Oh, thank you. Monica, making cinnamon rolls because I feel someone else is hungry. You are awesome. Mel, Monica, trying to stay in the vibration of love. Yes. And you know, it is that choice moment to moment. Hi, Kate. How are you? Welcome. Let me see this. Katarzyna, the last week and a half, I feel the highest vibration ever, and I feel so many shifts, so many breakthroughs, but so happy. Cool. Very cool. Yeah. You know, like talking about the astrology behind it too, we went through some really powerful shifts. Like I feel this eclipse energy was actually clearing out a lot collectively, and that was shown in the astrology as well. Like the eclipses, part of the eclipses were happening on the South Node, and the South Node in astrology is our karma. So with eclipses happening on our karma, and the South Node in Aquarius at that, like Aquarius is the groups and communities we belong to. So we were doing a lot of healing and clearing as a collective. And, you know, I know many people really felt like the eclipse season, like that was intense. Let me know if you felt yourself going through a lot of changes throughout that. It would have began July, I think July 13th. Was like the new moon and also the eclipse and the end of the July and then into August. So we had 3 major eclipses that were doing a lot of clearing and releasing for the collective, like letting go of those old patterns, letting go of those old energies, and also bringing in the new. And this is also where we saw a lot of the goddess energies starting to be activated and starting to come in more strongly as well. And it's only going to continue. So the energies right now in terms of the cosmos really are changing too. It's like changing in a way where we're seeing a lot of forward momentum this month, which is good. Hello, Laura. Welcome, Goddess. Katarzyna, does unintentional manifestation exist? Yes, absolutely. I think what happens often is we do go into default mode, and this is where the shadow side comes in as well. So we're always manifesting. And I think when we talk about that, we want to be careful that we're not in a place of blaming ourselves for what we're creating or what we're calling in. But knowing that, yes, you are always manifesting. That what you're calling into your experience is a reflection of the energy that you are putting out into the world. It's also, you know, a reflection of the actions that you're taking, your mindset. And trusting, right, that at that same time, like it is, but then there's also, that's where the bigger picture comes in, and we start to look at like multi-dimensional manifestation, is that we're all, like, we're manifesting on many different planes of existence, and our soul journey is a part of this as well, like some of our soul contracts that we come into experience too, and we see that in astrology as well, right, our soul contracts, past life, so all of that stuff's coming in too. So the unintentional manifestation happens when we're just on default, and we're not quite aware of what we're calling in, or we're not aware of how it fits into the bigger picture. So doing the shadow work, which is looking at like our repressed beliefs, our energy that may need to be like cleared a little bit, especially as empaths, right? We like just take on energy. I was talking about this in my membership site last week, how we're just like taking on energy of other people, and that can attract as well. So the more intentional we are about the energy that we're embodying, the more we're willing to look at the shadow, the more we're able to really send like that clear signal out into the universe about what we're calling in and what we're creating in our life. So let me know if that makes sense, Katarzyna, if that resonates, if you have questions around that. Hello, hello. All right, welcome if you just joined. We got Deborah. Has been intense energy, right? Yes. Monica, a big time, was really empowering. Yes. I love that you're seeing it that way, because it was an empowering journey and it was major change. Okay, so I was going to look over these notes and see if there's anything else. I actually opened the Akashic Records, and I often do some writing and journaling while I'm in the space of the records to see what I want to share and what I want to bring forward. So let me see. What did I write down? So I think we talked about a lot of this. Yeah, and we'll go into this a little bit more on the other trainings where we're looking at like our soul blueprint. So when I refer to our soul blueprint, that's basically coming into place. You can explore that in the Akashic Records or astrology, and it's all going to point you in the same direction, right? It's just going to be different ways of looking at it. But it's basically the strengths that you come in with this lifetime, your natural gifts. It's where you see your past life as well, your karma. It's where you see the direction you're called to go this time. But it's basically the energy that you're here to master and that you're here to work with. And the more that you know your soul blueprint and you connect with that and you know the power in that, the easier it is to manifest on many different levels and on many different planes of existence, right? Because you're working with your soul blueprint, your unique. Even goes deeper, right, than like your unique DNA. It's like, this is your soul blueprint. This is the gifts and talents and strengths that you're naturally bringing into the world. So anybody who's done astrology readings with me, we would have explored this as well. Absolutely. But in the new program that's coming up very soon, I'm going to release it very soon. Part of that is going to be working with and getting to know your soul blueprint and how you can harness that energy to create in your life. Working in alignment with it, because we all have our own strengths, right? And sometimes even when we're doing like coaching with someone or we're following different people's suggestions for what they tell us to do, it's actually not taking into consideration your unique strengths or what your challenges may be around that. So the more that you can connect and understand that, you can really just create what your soul wants to express this lifetime. So for anybody that does want to go further with that, definitely send me a message and let me know you're interested in learning more about that program. I'm still finishing up the web page for it, and I have a lovely assistant that's helping me make it beautiful because I'm not a tech person. I'm not very good at the tech stuff at all. But as part of that, we are going to be going into deeper how you can connect and work with your unique soul blueprint, because that's huge. And really knowing the life message and mission that you're here to work with this lifetime. Okay, so let's see some of these questions. Rita, I'm in such a happy place right now. It's kind of funny is that I'm in upbeat, happy energy anyway, but this past moon really put me in an even better mindset. Now I feel like I'm trying to catch up with myself. Oh, you're awesome. I love that. And Kelly, I feel like I was forced into some shadow work this summer. Once I recognized that was what was going on, I just did my best to surrender to the process. Yeah, you know what? Sometimes the universe, it's like it gets louder and louder until it gets our attention, right? It's like we're forced to eventually look at it. And sometimes that comes out through like physical manifestations as well, right? We feel it in our energy first, and then it turns into a physical complaint, and that can be something more serious. And sometimes it's like a cold or an illness, or we feel our body run down, but it always gets our attention some way. And doing the shadow work really is a spiritual process in itself, and it takes a lot of courage to be willing to look at some of the pain or trauma or beliefs that we've repressed, because often they're repressed for a reason. But as we send them love and healing, and as we honor that it's a part of who we are, that's where our vibration, it's like it's a unity that takes place, and we're no longer having aspects of our energy projected in all these different directions, because that's when we're like manifestation mishaps. So we're creating things, they're like, where did this come from? Why is this happening? So the more that we are loving and integrating these aspects of who we are, and we're intentionally working with that energy, we can really co-create, right? We really co-create magic with the universe as we understand and appreciate and harness our energy. Okay, Monica, I love seeing all the connections with everything. It's all about awareness and trusting and loving yourself. Yes, awareness and trusting, and there's absolutely a time as well to take that inspired action, because here on the earth plane, on the 3D, we need to take action. That's so much a part of our experience, right? Is we do have to take that action. But more importantly than the action is first aligning the energy. It's first recognizing the power you hold, the magic that you hold, connecting to that, and then taking inspired action as you get those divine downloads. So it goes back to that exercise we did at the start. So if you're jumping in late, welcome, and make sure you go back and watch from the start once the recording's in, because we did just a very simple like breathing exercise that brings awareness to your column of light, and using that to get really grounded like using that to connect with Gaia, with Mother Earth, that'll help you take inspired action, and that can help increase financial abundance. That can help increase energy as you really connect here on the 3D. And at the same time, you're then taking that column of light and you're expanding it up into the space of the Akash, into the space of the ether. That's where the magic happens. When you're in that free-flowing state of receiving that guidance from your angels, the ascended masters, goddesses, loved ones, your higher self. We all see it in many different ways, but there's so much support we can call in and we can harness. But you're able to take that and then you're able to apply that. So it's a really nice flow of energy there. Monica would love to delve into my records deeper. Hashtag Soul Blueprint. Oh, you're awesome. Yes, it's powerful stuff, right? When we really connect with that. Katie, I need a tech person. I am still interested in working with you. I'm finding myself so baffled by what it is that is holding my money manifesting back. Katie, we can clear up some of that too. And yeah, the tech stuff drives me crazy, but I am fortunate to have somebody that's helping me out with the tech stuff because I get so frustrated with it. Not my specialty at all, but yes. So if you are interested though, when that program comes out, if you send me a message, I will send you that link because we're going to be delving deep, of course, into applying all this. So I want to share as much as possible in this training, but then of course the real magic happens when we harness it and we apply it and we know what's my unique soul blueprint, and we go through exercises to clear and cleanse old programming, old beliefs, and we put in a new set of belief systems, new programming, right? That's when we really start to see the momentum and change take place. But know also today, right, you can just decide that I'm going to connect with my magic and my power. I'm going to connect with my inner goddess, and I'm going to trust that I'm worthy of receiving, that I'm being divinely guided, that I can have the things my soul desires because that's what I'm here to experience. So it can start as instantly as having that mindset shift happen. Kelly, I did a lot of Ho'oponopono with my chakras this summer. Isn't that a beautiful blessing and prayer? I love that. If people have not done the Ho'oponopono, you have to check it out because it's beautiful, so healing, so powerful. Katarzyna, I kept seeing 888 a lot just now, feeling, oh, I love that. Yes, the abundance of love from my friends, feeling called to express gratitude for my mentors, and could learn all day. Oh, you are amazing, Katarzyna. Katie, I must be on another layer processing. Yeah, there's so many layers, and I think it's, you know, it's important that like we're willing to look at that and do that energy work, but at the same time knowing it's a journey for us all. It's not like it's ever done. We don't complete it. Like wherever we get to launching off point for what's next. So it's loving ourselves in that process as we're doing that work and that healing. And often too, like the things that we struggle with this lifetime, it goes much deeper than this lifetime. There's past life connections to that almost always. And there's also a way to heal it, because especially if you are, whether it's with money or with your career, with a relationship, we all tend to have these things that come really easy to us, and we have things that tend to be a struggle or pain point for us, and that's part of being human, right? That's what we're here to master. But if something's coming up for you in a big way and you see a repeating pattern, that's just an opportunity to transcend it and heal it. That means that you're ready to move beyond it. So even seeing it that way starts to create a shift. Like, oh, this is happening because I meant to heal it. I meant to release it. It's opening up the doors for new opportunity to come in. I meant to master this. And in astrology, that's what we see Chiron, the wounded healer, represent. It's like our biggest pain becomes our biggest strength when we recognize the power that we hold. Like, I don't have to stay in the pain anymore. It's now my strength. And then I now come to a point where I can teach and share it with others. So hopefully that spin helps everyone. Laura will go back and catch the replay. Thank you for sharing. You are welcome, Laura. Thank you for the column of light. You are welcome. All right. So I think for today, we will wrap this up, but I will be back tomorrow, same time. Tomorrow, I'm thinking we're going to look a little bit more at intuition, our psychic gifts, and the goddess energy, because it's all tied together. As you activate your goddess energy, you activate your psychic and your intuitive powers in a bigger way. And yeah, that's what we'll be focusing on tomorrow. So if you're on the replay, definitely continue to leave your questions, your comments. I'll be coming back and responding. And if you're interested in learning more about the program that's coming out as soon as the webpage is done, I'll be sharing with everyone. Just let me know and I'll get you the details on that. So sending lots of love and light. Thank you, goddesses, for hanging out, spending this time, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.